Japanese milk bread. Maybe you have had this, maybe you haven't. But the famous thing about this bread is the fact that it's super soft. It has a very tight crumb structure, and that's from a milk water roux paste that you make in the beginning. It's called tangzong. So we're going to make it right now. I have my flour, I have the tangzong ingredients in here, and this helps to give the dough a pre-gelatinized roux. And so it gives the dough more structure, more stability, and therefore the crumb structures are super small, and then you have that shelf life as well. So this gives it actually more shelf life. If you've noticed in some Asian bakeries that the items are much softer, it's because most of their baked goods use this method. Okay? Now a lot of them don't make everything from scratch anymore, they use mixes, but at least you have this recipe so that you can start with. Okay? So all I want to do here is get this nice and thickened. Okay, I'm going to turn up my heat. And once this is thickened, I'm going to pull it off the heat and let it cool slightly. I don't want to put it into the mix when it's really, really hot, because then it might burn something. Okay? So starting to thicken up just a little bit. See, that happens so fast. Let me get the edges as well. Okay, nice and even. Wonderful. Just want to make sure I don't have any leftover pieces. Okay, now I will turn off my heat, pull this to the side, and I'm going to let this cool. In the meantime, I have my wet ingredients in my mixing bowl, and I will have my dough attachment here, my dough hook. So I have my yeast, my egg, and milk. So I will use the dough hook to just lightly mix it up, just so that we don't have a big pocket of yeast. Okay, then I'm going to put my dry ingredients in. And I have not added the melted butter yet, nor have I added the tangzong. So I'm going to let my mixture start without those ingredients first, just so they can get introduced to each other. Let's show you. Okay. I'm going to make sure that this is not hot. The dough has incorporated a little bit more, I will show you when to add these two ingredients. Now it's time to add the other ingredients. So here's my cooled tangzong. Okay. See, it's really sticky. That's a good thing. Then I will add in my melted butter. Okay. Look, a little bit of butter stuck on the container, so I'm going to get that off. Okay. So get this off, get that off, and then we will mix until we have a nice cohesive dough. Medium speed. So our dough is finished mixing. This took about 15 minutes on medium speed, but if you're not sure what it's supposed to look like, you can always do the window pane test and also the poke test. Okay? So you see how stretchy it is? We know that gluten has developed for sure. And then we will transfer it to a lightly oiled bowl to let it rise for its bulk fermentation. Okay? All right. I'm going to label it J milk bread. Okay, see you in a bit. Japanese milk bread has finished its bulk fermentation. See, it has doubled in size, and now let's give it the poke test. It's ready. We're going to split it into 3 pieces now. So now we want to finish the Japanese milk bread. The dough has already proofed in bulk fermentation, and now I want to shape it into basically the rolls or the loaves that I want to bake. So I'm going to use for today this disposable loaf pan, and I have a choice if I want to do 3 pieces here that I'll bake up into a loaf. I have also done some more over here, so as you can see I have 2 with 3 rolls in it, equal rolls, and then I have 1 here that's going to poof up, and it's actually going to bake into a loaf shape. So that's what I want to do with this second one here. So let's get started. So I've split up my dough. First I split up my dough into 4 equal pieces for each loaf, and then I split this in half so I could have 2 larger ones. So all I'm doing is I'm going to roll it, tuck in sides just a little bit, and then seam side down I want to put it into the loaf pan, but at an angle. Okay, that's going to help it proof and bake in a very unique fashion. So at an angle. Okay, so this has to go now for its second proof, and then after its second proof, we will brush it with milk and bake it in a 350-degree oven. So now let's tuck these guys in and put them in the proofer. See you later. So now our Japanese milk bread has been proofed, brushed with milk, baked, and now it has cooled. So I want to show you when I pull apart the pieces and what the texture is like. So come here. So look at the texture when I put my hand. Right when it came out of the oven, it was very crusty, okay? But now that it has sat quite a bit, it's so pillowy soft. So let's open one up. We use these disposable loaf pans just so you could see if we were to cut them in half. Okay, but I'm going to tear each of these pieces. Look at the beautiful texture of that milk bread. You see the super, super soft. I wish I could slather some salted butter on here right now and eat it. Okay? Beautiful. I hope that you have success with this if you make it at home as well. Good luck!